What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Boxing Matchups back with another fight video. Now before I get started, make sure you like the video, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified when I drop new fight content. Well, George Kambosos has activated his rematch clause. We know he had the fight with Devin the Dream Haney in Australia. Devin the Dream Haney was clearly the better fighter that night. He outboxed Kambosos. There was nothing George Kambosos can do. Devin Dream Haney was just too much for Kambosos. Haney was out jabbing him. He kept hitting him with the jab pretty much the whole fight. He beat him with the jab the whole fight. But the right hand was there for him to land. He just didn't throw it because he felt like Kambosos was trying to time him. And you could see that Kambosos was waiting to set Devin Haney up. But Devin Haney never fell for it. He was just clearly the better boxer. He had the better ring IQ. And he just kept using the jab. When he wanted to land the right hand, he did. But for the most part, he just kept using the jab. And Kambosos didn't have no answer for it. So Devin became the first full-belt undisputed champion at 135 pounds. And George Kambosos had activated his rematch clause. There was talk to see if George Kambosos was going to go ahead and activate his rematch clause. Now, they had already signed a contract that Devin would have to fight George Kambosos for 2 fights over in Australia should he win the fight, the first fight. And that's just what he did. He won the first fight, so George Kambosos activated his rematch clause, so they will have to fight in Australia once again. And I don't see an outcome being any different than what the last outcome was. Now, Devin is not a big puncher, so I don't think he's going to get a knockout. I believe he's just going to clearly outbox George Kambosos. Now, George Kambosos might try to bully Devin more this fight, but I don't think he's going to have an answer. Devin is just a better boxer. He's the bigger boxer, and he has the longer arm reach. And like I said, he's just a better boxer. George Kambosos I don't see any adjustments that he can possibly make. He's not a big puncher himself, so I don't see him possibly landing a big shot and knocking Devin out, because Devin has a higher knockout ratio than George Kambosos. So it's really not a big difference that George Kambosos can do against Devin Haney. Now, there was talk about, is the money going to be the same? Would Devin Haney get a bigger piece of the money revenue, being though that he's the undisputed champion? I'm not sure how the contract is set up, but from my understanding, it was set up where George Kambosos would get $10 million both fights, and Devin would get $2.8 million both fights. So I don't know if there was something worded in the fight where Devin Haney would get a bigger piece of the money revenue. But nevertheless, I believe Devin Haney is going to come out victorious in this fight as well. So we're going to see what date they're going to make this fight. And that's pretty much all I have on this fight. Make sure y'all drop a comment in the comment section. It's your boy, Boxing Matchups. Peace.